The galaxy had gone quiet. No warships moved near Earth now, no probes, no signals, nothing. For the first time in thousands of years, the stars around Earth stood still. But below the surface of the blue planet, something ancient was now awake. In a deep vault buried beneath Antarctica, the warden walked down a narrow metal hallway. The lights flickered. The ground trembled. He reached a black door. Dr. Malin stood beside him, holding a key. "Are you sure?" she asked softly. The warden gave no answer. He just stared at the door. Inside was the core, not a machine, not a weapon, but a being. Not born of Earth, but buried inside it long ago. A secret even Earth's governments had forgotten. The reason Earth never joined the Galactic Council. The reason Earth had always remained quiet. Because if it woke up, nothing would remain the same. Dr. Malin inserted the key. The door opened. A cold wind rushed out, though there was no air, and then a heartbeat. Loud, slow, deep. It shook the walls, the sea, the clouds, even the moon. In space, the quarantined border lit up, red warnings in every language. On distant planets, ancient beings stirred from their sleep. Creatures who once ruled galaxies before falling into silence. They remembered that sound, that heartbeat. They had locked it away long ago, and now Earth had set it free. The being stepped out. It looked human, but it was not. Its skin glowed dimly, its eyes were galaxies. Its voice, when it spoke, echoed across every mind in the Milky Way. You fed on fear. You grew fat on weakness. Now, meet consequence. Across the galaxy, machines stopped working. Entire fleets lost control. Planets without compassion or mercy felt something new. Dread, the last surviving Draconian general, hiding in a bunker on a desert moon, looked to the sky and whispered, "We thought Earth was the threat." His assistant asked, "Then what is that?" He answered, "Judgment." But Earth did not destroy anyone. No weapons were fired. No invasion came. Instead, something worse. Every violent act against Earth in the last 1,000 years was reversed. Whole empires woke up and found themselves powerless. Their war leaders vanished, their armies dissolved, their planets regrown, as if the galaxy itself had gone back in time, but only for the enemies of Earth. And Earth? It remained quiet, still, watching, until one final message appeared on every screen, every mind, every world. We were never weak. We were waiting. Then the signal ended. The galaxy waited for the next step. But Earth never moved again. No more messages, no more fleets. The planet became silent once more, truly silent. Because now everyone understood Earth was not part of the galaxy. It was watching it, and no one would dare come close again. The message reached every star system in less than 3 minutes. Come to Earth, if you dare. It wasn't sent through regular channels. It appeared on every military screen, every government server, even personal communication devices. It came in the voice of a calm human male. No emotion, just clarity. Across the galaxy, people froze. Some saw it as a challenge. Others saw it as a death sentence. The Galactic Council called for an emergency meeting once again, but this time, half the members didn't show up. Fear was spreading. The silence around Earth had become louder than any weapon, but not everyone was afraid. A powerful Sokar warlord named Drevel, known for destroying 5 planets in his rise to power, stood before his armada. His ships were covered in jagged armor, powered by black fusion cores. His voice roared through the command deck. We do not bow to ghosts and games. Earth is flesh and bone like the rest. We go now, and we burn their silence to ash. His fleet, over 300 strong, jumped to Terran space. But the moment they arrived, something was wrong. There was no Earth. The planet was not in its usual place. No star. No moon. No signal. Just empty space. Confused, Drevel ordered scans. His ship searched for hours. Then something strange happened. His vessels began to rotate, on their own. Their systems rebooted. All navigation maps were wiped clean. Every screen went black, and then a face appeared. It was human, old, bald, wearing a long black coat. His eyes were like ice, cold and full of knowledge. He said just one word, watched. Then every SOCAR ship exploded, at the same time. No weapons, no attackers. Just a soft sound, like a breath, and then fire. The galaxy watched it happen on live feeds, and Earth still hadn't spoken officially. On the Council's main world, Counselor Valine met with Admiral Solari in secret. "They're not just warning us," Valine whispered. "They're controlling the rules. Time, space, maps. They made a planet disappear. They erased fleets." Solari looked pale. "What are they hiding?" Valine leaned closer. "Not what. Who?" Back on Earth, deep inside an old underground facility, someone had awakened, a man with no name, just a title, the Warden. He had slept, for 200 years in a frozen chamber. Not because he was weak, but because he was too strong. A weapon made from war, death, and Terran will. Now he stood, breathing slow. Dr. Malen stood nearby. "We've reached Phase 5. The galaxy is starting to break." The Warden didn't speak. He just picked up a black device, shaped like a coin. When he pressed it, lights across Earth turned red. Elsewhere, on the mining world of Kexar 3, a strange object fell from the sky. Small, metallic. When the locals approached, it opened and played a video. It showed Earth. Not present-day Earth, but future Earth. Massive cities in the sky. Artificial suns. Machines larger than moons. And humans? Evolved, taller, smarter, stronger. And a voice said, "You feared what we were. You should fear what we're becoming." Then the video stopped. Panic spread. Some worlds declared a ban on all human signals. Others sent ambassadors begging for peace. But Earth didn't respond. It only watched. And as more fleets vanished, as more worlds went dark, the galaxy began to understand a terrible truth. The silence wasn't Earth being afraid. It was Earth preparing. The galaxy was falling into chaos. No one trusted anyone. Empires began blaming each other for what was happening. They refused to believe that Earth alone could do this. It had to be some kind of hidden alliance, a trick, an ancient weapon Earth had somehow found. But deep down, everyone felt the same cold truth. Earth had changed. The silence was now something else, something louder than war. It was a message, a promise, a threat. And still, Earth had not fired a single shot. On the planet Trivis 9, a secret meeting took place. 5 shadow leaders from different species sat around a black table in a dark room. These were not elected officials. These were the ones who truly ran the galaxy from behind the curtain. The Varelian representative spoke first. "We've lost contact with 27 fleets. No distress calls, no wreckage, just vanished." The Zarkari leader hissed, "Earth must be using quantum erasure. It's the only way." A calm voice answered from the shadows. "No, it's not technology. It's intent." Everyone turned. A new figure stood at the doorway, tall, hooded, not on the guest list. "Who are you?" one of the leaders shouted. The figure stepped forward, slowly removed the hood. It was a human, but not like the humans they knew. Her skin shimmered faintly, like starlight. Her eyes glowed silver. She was enhanced, beyond enhanced. "My name is Kira," she said. "I was born on Earth, but not in your time." They stared at her in silence. "I was born 300 years from now," she continued. "Your actions today forced my timeline to collapse. So Earth pulled me back." The room fell quiet. One of the leaders whispered, "Time. Travel?" Kira nodded. "You never understood what Earth really was. You saw weakness, a young species, but we were only pretending to be small, because the truth would have broken the galaxy too soon." She raised her hand, and a hologram lit up the room. It showed a massive structure floating near a black hole. A machine. the size of a moon. We call it the lock, Kira said. It holds back something very old, something that sleeps beneath Earth's core. You came too close. The Draconian Armada activated a failsafe. So did the exploration fleet. And every ship after that. She looked at them, her voice flat. You weren't erased. You were taken. In space near Earth's orbit, far beyond. Human satellites, a hidden gate opened. One of the lost ships floated out, silent, empty, no life forms, but something inside it was moving. Something new. The Galactic Council received a final message that night. From Earth. One word, enough. Suddenly, all Terran systems came online. Every satellite, every stealth ship, every hidden weapon. Thousands of cloaked stations revealed themselves. Around the solar system, Earth was not defenseless. It had never been. The Council tried to send messages, warnings, peace offers. But Earth didn't reply. Instead, it broadcast one final image across the stars. A giant wall of human text, translated for every species. This galaxy is now under quarantine. You came uninvited. You leave in silence, or not at all. And just like that, every warp gate within 1,000 light years of Earth shut down. No one could enter, no one could leave. Earth had locked itself away. But what lay beneath the silence was far from over, because deep under Earth's surface, the real enemy had just woken up. The sky above Earth turned black as the Draconian Armada arrived. Hundreds of massive warships blocked the sun, spreading shadows across the planet. Their shape was cold and sharp, like giant blades waiting to strike. People on the ground looked, up in silence, their hearts frozen with fear. The world had known this day might come, but no one thought it would look like this. The Galactic Council had already warned Earth. Surrender when the Draconians arrive, they had said. Don't resist. You cannot win. The Council had seen other worlds fall. None had survived a full attack from the Draconian Empire. They expected Earth to bow, to beg, or to fight and fail like the rest. But Earth did none of those things. As the hours passed, no missiles were launched. No ships flew up to meet the invaders. No energy shields came online. Earth was quiet. Too quiet. In space, the Draconian commanders waited for a response. There was none. Only silence. The Armada hovered above cities and oceans, their weapons armed and ready. But Earth just watched. The galaxy held its breath. On other planets, news of Earth's silence spread quickly. Earth is finished, they said. The humans are brave, but they don't stand a chance. Across star systems, people tuned in to live feeds, waiting for the invasion to begin. No one expected anything more than destruction. Then something strange happened. As the Draconian lead ship prepared to fire, its lights blinked once, then went out. The engines went dead. Power vanished. From space, it looked like the ship just turned off. Seconds later, another ship went dark. Then another, and another. All over the sky, warships were shutting down. Their lights faded, their weapons powered off. Alarms echoed through their halls. Pilots shouted in panic. The mighty Armada, feared across the stars, was suddenly helpless. And then they started to vanish. Not explode. Not fall, vanish. One by one, the giant ships disappeared into thin air. No sound, no flash, no wreckage. Gone. In less than 2 minutes, half the fleet had vanished. The rest tried to escape, but their systems failed. Nothing worked. No weapons. No navigation. No shields. Only fear remained. Inside the last command ship, the Draconian High General stared at his dying monitors. He was known as Vorak the Unbroken. He had destroyed 14 civilizations. He had never lost. But now, he couldn't even move. His voice shook as he spoke. What is this? What have we done? Down on Earth, people still watched the skies. But they were not running. Not screaming. Not even surprised. A few held their phones up to record the moment. Others stood on rooftops, staring at the fading lights in the clouds. They knew something no one else did. something they never told the galaxy. At the edge of Earth's orbit, a small satellite turned toward the stars. It sent a message, a short burst of data, faster than light, to every known system. A single word. Begin. That was all. Across the galaxy, receivers picked it up. Translation machines tried to understand the meaning. Was it a cry for help? A final warning? Or something else? On the nearest space station, a technician read the word again and again. He looked at his commander.
Begin what?
He asked. No one knew. Back in the Draconian fleet, the last remaining ships froze in place. Every screen showed the same strange signal, a glowing symbol, not in any known language. Then the symbol faded, and so did the ships. Now the sky above, Earth was empty again. The sun returned. The shadows were gone. No trace of the invaders remained, but the silence was no longer peaceful. It was heavy. Heavy with fear. Heavy with mystery. In the Galactic Council chambers, leaders from many worlds stared at the signal Earth had sent. Begin. That was all. No threats. No demands. Just that one word. The Council tried to contact Earth. No response. They tried to scan the planet. Their scans failed. Something blocked them. Something powerful. It was as if Earth had stepped into a different dimension. Many began to panic. If Earth didn't destroy the Armada, then who did? They asked. And if Earth did, what else are they hiding? One thing was clear now. Earth was not like the others, and the humans were not what they seemed. Across the stars, everyone watched. No one dared to move. No one dared to speak. The galaxy had just seen the impossible. A force strong enough to erase the Draconian Armada without firing a single shot. And it had all started with silence. And one word. Begin. The galaxy could not stop talking about Earth. One by one, news channels repeated the same headline. The Draconian Armada has vanished. No one knew how. No one knew why. But everyone knew where. It happened over Earth. On the planet Tressa 9, a council of war strategists played the footage again. They watched as the massive Draconian ships hovered above Earth. Then they watched them blink out of existence, one after another, like lights being turned off. A general from the Arkan race whispered, "That was not a weapon. That was something else." People began to ask questions. Did Earth build a secret device, some kind of ancient technology? Others wondered if Earth had help from an unknown species. But no matter how many experts guessed, no one could find the answer. In the deepest corners of the galactic network, secret files were passed between spies and soldiers. Some of those files told of a hidden human project called Black Silence. No one had ever seen it. No one had survived it. But whispers said it was a defense made only for one thing: total erasure. Meanwhile, back on Earth, everything seemed normal, or at least it looked that way from space. The planet spun slowly, its cities glowing in the night. There were no signs of war, no celebration, not even a change in movement. Earth was calm, too calm. But under the surface, far beneath the crust, something was waking up. In a hidden bunker deep below Greenland's ice, a group of human scientists stood in front of a massive screen. The screen showed maps, codes, and one countdown. It had already started ticking the moment the word "begin" was sent. Dr. Elira Mace, lead scientist of the Terran Defensive Corps, turned to the others. "How long until Phase 2? She asked. 72 hours, a man replied. "Everything is in motion." "Any reaction from the Council?" she added. "Yes," another voice said. "They're scared." Elira smiled. "Good. Let them be." Far away, in the outer regions of space, the remnants of the Draconian Empire gathered in secret. The surviving commanders argued about what had happened. Some believed Earth had a superweapon. Others believed something even worse, that Earth had formed a pact with something not from this galaxy, something ancient. One of the last commanders, Kethrin the Blade, stood before his warriors. His armor was damaged. His voice was angry. "We will not vanish like cowards," he shouted. "We strike again. this time with everything. But one of his lieutenants trembled as he spoke. But what if they let us come? What if Earth wanted us there? Catherine didn't answer. He couldn't. Back. On Earth, in a dark room filled with humming machines, a man in a black coat stared at a glowing orb. He spoke into a communicator, his voice calm. The message reached the stars. They know now. The time of hiding is over. From the orb, a whisper came, not a voice, not a language, just a feeling. It is ready. The man nodded slowly. Phase 2 will begin as planned. In the Galactic Council, fear turned into chaos. Debates broke out. Some members wanted to block Earth from all communication. Others wanted to send more ships. But one elder counselor, a woman with silver eyes, stood and said only one thing. If Earth is hiding something, it is not because they fear us. It is because we were not ready to know. Her words silenced the room. Then a second message arrived. This time it wasn't just one word. It said, the Draconian fleet was the first test. Others will follow. Do not interfere. The message came from Earth, but it had no known origin. It bypassed security, shields, and encryption. It appeared on every screen in the galaxy. And when it disappeared, it left behind a new symbol. One that no one had seen before. Not even in ancient records. A circle inside a triangle, with a single human eye in the center. From that moment, the galaxy understood something very important. The humans were no longer just another species. They were something more, and they had just given the galaxy a warning. Galaxy could not sleep. The image of Earth's strange symbol, a triangle, a circle, and a human eye, was everywhere. It appeared on news screens, military terminals, even inside private starships. No one could remove it. It burned itself into every system it touched, then disappeared. Some believed it was a threat. Others believed it was a message. But one thing was clear. Earth had just revealed a power far greater than anyone expected. On the planet Vireth 4, an emergency meeting was held between leaders of 5 major empires: the Varelians, the Sokar Dominion, the Free Colonies, the Tarn Syndicate, and the remnants of the Draconians. These powers had never agreed on anything before, but now they shared a common fear. We must act, said Supreme Warlord Yersha of the Tarn. If Earth has something that can erase fleets, then we must destroy it before they use it again. And how will we do that? Asked Admiral Solari of the Free Colonies. The Draconians were erased without warning. No weapons, no sound, just gone. The Draconian representative, General Koresh, remained silent. His eyes were cold, empty. The once proud warrior had lost everything above Earth. He knew the truth now. Humans had been hiding something. And whatever it was watching. Back on Earth, deep beneath the old ruins of Siberia, another facility had come online. Inside, a woman in a white coat moved through rows of cryotanks. Each tank held a person, human, but enhanced, taller, stronger, their skin marked with strange symbols. Dr. Malin tapped on her wrist pad. A soft beep echoed through the chamber. One of the tanks opened. Steam poured out. The figure inside stepped forward, eyes glowing faint blue. Status? She asked. Conscious. Calm. Ready, the figure replied. She nodded. Unit 4, the galaxy is watching us now. You are to remain hidden, but active. Phase 3 will begin soon. Watch the council. Watch the stars. The figure vanished into the shadows. Meanwhile, in orbit around the distant moon Oxa 9, a listening post caught something strange, an echo from the edge of the galaxy. It was not a signal. Not exactly. It was more like a memory. A pulse from the void, carrying with it coordinates. And the same symbol Earth had broadcast. Technicians tried to trace it. The echo came from a place beyond mapped space. A dead zone. Ships that entered never returned. It was known only by one name, the Null Expanse, and now Earth was pointing the galaxy toward it. Some believed Earth was warning them not to enter, others believed Earth was inviting them in. In the Galactic Council, arguments turned to shouting. A vote was cast. The result, a small fleet would be sent to the null expanse, not to attack Earth, but to investigate the origin of the signal. The fleet was made up of scientists, diplomats, and elite soldiers from every major faction. It was meant to show unity, but also to prepare for war. As the fleet left orbit, Counselor Valine watched from her private chamber. She spoke softly to her assistant. "We are not ready for what we might find." "What if Earth is leading us into a trap?" the assistant asked. Valine shook her head. "Earth doesn't need traps. That's what makes them terrifying." Back on Earth, the countdown continued, inside a massive underground chamber. Once, buried under the Atlantic Ocean, a machine older than any civilization started to glow. It had no name. It made no sound. But as its core turned, the oceans above shifted. The clouds bent. The stars themselves seemed to tremble. And at its base stood a single human in black armor. He raised his hand toward the spinning core. "Let them come," he whispered. "They want answers. They'll get them." At the edge of the galaxy, the investigation fleet arrived at the coordinates. There was nothing there at first. Just dark. Space. Then slowly something massive came into view, an ancient structure floating alone in the void. It was not built by humans, or by anyone the galaxy had ever known. It pulsed with strange energy. As the ships approached, their systems began to fail. Lights flickered, engines stalled, and then a voice filled every ship. It was human, and it said one word. "Observe." Then the entire fleet was gone. No explosion. No warning. Just silence. Panic spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The exploration fleet, made of the best scientists, strongest soldiers, and most advanced ships from the 5 great powers, was gone. No wreckage, no distress signal, no trace. Just like the Draconian Armada, they had vanished after answering Earth's silent invitation. In the Galactic Council chamber, leaders shouted over each other. "Earth is playing with powers beyond our understanding. It was a mistake sending them. They're not just hiding something, they're controlling something." But Counselor Valine didn't speak. She sat still, hands folded, eyes staring into nothing. She had seen something others missed. A message hidden in the silence. Not words, not images, but a pattern. A rhythm in the loss of ships. As if someone, or something, was watching how they reacted. On Earth, under the deserts of Nevada, another chamber opened. This one was different, older, dust-covered. It had not been touched in over 100 years. Inside, rows of data crystals glowed faintly in the dark. A man with gray eyes stepped in. His name was Director Kale. He wore a black uniform with no rank, no flag, and no emotion on his face. He touched one of the crystals. A hologram flickered to life. It showed Earth, years ago, before the alien empires came, before the galaxy even noticed humans. In the video, scientists stood around a strange machine, one they did not build, one they had found buried beneath the Earth. The machine was silent, until something from the stars activated it. Then everything changed. Kyle watched the rest of the crystal in silence. When it ended, he turned to the soldier behind him. "Activate. The gatekeepers," he said. "The outer colonies must be protected." The soldier nodded. "And the council?" Kale narrowed his eyes. "They'll understand soon enough." Elsewhere, far from Earth, in the distant star systems of the Varelian Empire, strange things began to happen. Starships malfunctioned. AI systems shut down. Satellites reprogrammed themselves. On every screen appeared a single line of human text: "Do not interfere." At first, many thought it was a virus, but attempts to delete the message failed. And then it got worse. The central moon of the Varelian military vanished, not exploded, not destroyed, just vanished, leaving behind nothing but cold vacuum where an entire command base used to be. That's when fear turned to panic. If Earth could do that from across the galaxy, what else were they capable of? But Earth wasn't speaking. No leaders. stepped forward. No warnings were sent. No declarations made. It was complete silence, the kind of silence that made even the bravest warriors feel small. On the edge of Earth's orbit, hidden in the shadow of the moon, a massive Terran vessel began to awaken. It had no name in any public registry, no signal. It was covered in dark plating that reflected no light. A ghost ship, but inside, it was alive. Thousands of minds connected in one shared network, watching the galaxy, tracking every reaction, calculating outcomes. At the center sat a woman in a cold white chair, Commander Ryla. She was Earth's secret hand, the one who carried out operations no one knew about. She was born in silence, trained in shadows, and now she had been activated. Status? She asked quietly. A voice replied in her mind. Galactic Council is fragmenting. Varelians have begun withdrawing fleets. The Sokar are building countermeasures. And the Null Expanse? Sealed, the voice said. All who entered did not return. Commander Ryla stood. Her boots echoed through the dark chamber. It's time they knew the truth, she said. Send the next signal. High above, a single Terran satellite shifted its alignment. Then, across the stars, every major planet received a new message. This one was different. It was not a warning. It was an invitation. Come to Earth, if you dare.